Lewis Hamilton has slammed the FIA for casting doubt on Susie Wolff's integrity by attracting public attention to unsubstantiated charges without questioning or any evidence. This is just one of the latest prominent figures of F1 fighting back at the downright weird and unasked for behaviour of the FIA under leadership of Mohammed Ben Sulayem. Stick around to find out what Hamilton has done and said recently to support his team and friends. Susie Wolff, the head of the F1 Academy, her husband Toto, and his Mercedes F1 team have attacked the FIA and hinted at legal action following an investigation into claims of a potential conflict of interest and the exchange of secret information between the Wolffs. The FIA stated earlier this week that its compliance section was looking into the situation, but abandoned it 2 days later, allegedly satisfied that no infringement occurred and indicating that no inquiry was continuing. The FIA's conclusion to its brief investigation did not include an apology. It added that it was satisfied that the F1 organization's compliance management system is robust enough to prevent any unauthorized disclosure of confidential information, and that no individual was under investigation. It went on to say that the FIA has a duty to maintain the integrity of global motorsport, as well as reaffirms its commitment to integrity and fairness. Given the Wolff's statements on Friday, this has been judged an unsatisfactory resolution. Susie Wolff would want to identify the person who has instigated this campaign and misled the media, because she fears that she might have been collateral damage in an unsuccessful attack on somebody else, or the target of a failed attempt to discredit me personally. Hamilton defended the Wolffs and attacked the FIA's conduct during a news conference at the governing body's prize-giving event in Baku. "It's been a challenging week," Hamilton said. "I think a disappointing week really to see that the governing body of our sport has sought to question the integrity of one of the most incredible female leaders we've ever had in our sport, with Susie Wolff, without questioning, without any evidence, and then just saying sorry at the end. And that's just unacceptable. We've got a lot of great people within the sport that are doing amazing work. There is a constant fight to really improve diversity and inclusion within the industry. But it seems that there are certain individuals in the leadership within the FIA that every time we try and make a step forward, they're trying to pull us back. And that has to change." Hamilton also emphasized the need of addressing diversity issues in racing as a whole. "I think this is a global sport," he said. "And we have such an incredible opportunity and a natural responsibility to be leaders of change. And as we're traveling to all those countries around the world, we have a responsibility to make sure that we're pushing in the right direction. So I do want to acknowledge that there are a lot of people that are doing great work, but we need to make some changes to make sure that we're all pushing in the right direction." But Hamilton didn't just stick to spoken words, as an iconic moment happened on stage. During his acceptance of the P3 award, Hamilton could be seen giving the finger to the cameras with the same hand he was holding his award in. Cheeky dig at the FIA, right? But Hamilton also hailed Toto Wolff, his team boss for the last decade, as Mercedes prepares to return to the front of the F1 grid next year. "Toto is an amazing leader," he stated. "I've known him for a long time. We joined the team at the same time. It's been an interesting journey for both of us to both grow with the team, to see his vision grow and progress within the structure of the team. He hasn't lost an ounce of his competitiveness. He's massively competitive. You see it on TV even when he's sitting at his little desk in the garage, trying to find a balance in life of work life and family life. I think he's done a really great job there. But I think just continuing to push everyone. Yesterday, again, we were talking to the team together. He's a very, very approachable leader, and I think people can relate to him, to his emotions and just to his compassion, or his drive. He's very understanding. I think it's definitely not been easy for anybody in the team when you're working towards something, but it's not quite going the way you want it. I think there's been many lessons, and I've been really proud to see the progress that he's made, just as an individual and as a human being as well." Although Toto Wolff may be considerate for the people within the team, he is anything but that for the FIA, as after that FIA blunder, Toto Wolff and his Mercedes Formula One team are in active legal exchange with the FIA in the aftermath of the governing body's contentious investigation, while Susie Wolff wants to know who instigated this campaign. Mercedes, of which Wolff is team principal and co-owner, released a statement saying, "We await full transparency about what happened and why, and have expressly reserved all legal rights, and pledged to address the matter in due course." Meanwhile, Susie Wolff, boss of the Formula One Academy, has blasted the FIA's investigation for a lack of transparency or accountability, saying her initial response to viewing the FIA's findings was, "Is that it?" She claims the FIA never approached her personally and has resolved to find out what was truly going on in the first place. This episode has so far taken place without transparency or accountability, Susie Wolff said. I have received online abuse about my work and my family. I will not allow myself to be intimidated and intend to follow up until I have found out who has instigated this campaign and misled the media. Susie Wolff remarked on Friday that the FIA's suggested settlement was unacceptable and that she, too, had not been contacted. For 2 days, insinuations have been made about my integrity in public and through background briefings. But nobody from the FIA has spoken to me directly, Wolff told reporters. I might have been collateral damage in an unsuccessful attack on somebody else, or the target of a failed attempt to discredit me personally, but I have worked too hard to have my reputation called into question by an unfounded press release. We have come a long way as a sport. I was extremely thankful for the unified support of the Formula One teams. I have worked with so many passionate women and men at F1 and the FIA, who have the very best interests of our sport at heart. What happened this week is simply not good enough. As a sport, we must demand and we deserve better. So, what about the FIA's side of things? Have they finally responded? And what did they do during the FIA ceremony to smoothing out things? Well, actually nothing. Ben Sulayem was indeed in Baku for the prize-giving ceremony, although he appeared to have taken on a lower-profile role. When he spoke to FIA officials at the gala, one item stood out above virtually anything else: the scandal surrounding the inquiry that was begun and subsequently dropped into Toto and Susie Wolff. The decision to go public with the fact that it was investigating a potential conflict of interest, only to backtrack and say there was nothing to investigate barely 48 hours later, has put the governing body in a difficult position. And with FIA President Mohammed Ben Sulayem considered to be at the core of the situation, the timing of the events on the eve of the regulatory body's biggest night of the year was less than ideal. There was the possibility of Ben Sulayem, a man known for speaking his views, halting the flames by speaking out at the FIA gathering, despite the fact that the topic was already being litigated with Mercedes. Indeed, Ben Sulayem was scheduled to speak first at the FIA Gala news conference, a perfect time to make amends. However, soon before the scheduled time, it was reported that he had been ill and would be unable to attend. An FIA spokesman said, "Several days ago, the president took ill and suffered a fall and concussion. He received care in hospital and will make a full recovery. He would like to thank the medical staff and Mr. Anar Alakbarov and his team for their help, and to all those in the FIA family that have sent their well wishes." Ben Sulayem did show up to the gala 2 hours later, albeit he did not appear to be in the greatest of spirits, as he appeared to have less energy than usual. Whether it was due to his sickness or the consequences from the Wolff case, he kept a low profile on stage when he was called up to congratulate victors. As Verstappen was handed his driver's trophy, Ben Sulayem said, "People say he is winning everything. Can you do something as the president of the FIA to slow him down? I say, how can I punish success? So obviously well done, and I wish more success for everyone, not just for you, to make it more interesting." That was the end of it. There was no straying off script and talking on issues he should not have, which will have reassured some in the FIA. However, while the events of the week received no official response on Gala Day, the consequences would be felt for some time. Mercedes has retained all of its legal rights as it seeks to determine what transpired this week, and it is fair to assume that there are those inside the FIA who are dissatisfied with how things were handled at the very top of the organisation. So, what are your thoughts on it all? Was Hamilton right to flip off the FIA, and will Ben Sulayem ever try to make amends? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below.